It's bullshit. Hi, I'm the Scoosher Cream on that already too-full bowl of ice cream, Jenny.
And I'm a lipstick lesbian who doesn't own a single lipstick, Lily.
And welcome to Lesbianswers.
Do you have LGBT questions? Because we've got Lesbianswers.
So today we have a question by email.
If you want to send us a question via email, email us at lesbianswers@gmail.com, or you can also send us your questions via Twitter. We're at Lesbianswers, or you can use the hashtag Lesbianswers in your questions.
Okay. So today's question is, why is losing my virginity considered such a big deal? And when does it count if I'm having sex with another girl?
Virginity is a big deal because patriarchy is bullshit.
Having said that, having sex for the first time with anyone and whatever type of sex you're having can be a big deal because it's new and scary and exciting and scary. So while I think the whole concept of virginity as it stands as a milestone is bollocks, that first time with a new person or doing something new with a long-term partner or a mix of both can be a big deal, and it can give you a lot to think about. It can be a big deal because it's your first time having to be vulnerable with a person to an extent that you're usually not in your daily life. Like, in your daily life, you're not expected to be, like, naked with someone.
Really?
I mean, usually not. You're going to be, like, literally moving in ways that you don't usually move, and you're going to be, like, there's going to be new fun sensations that, again, like, might be totally new or might be definitely new with another person causing them. But it's fun. It really should be fun.
Although it's also totally fine not to want to at any point or even ever. Like, asexuals exist and that's fine too.
It doesn't need to be a defining moment of your life. There doesn't need to be a before and after and suddenly everything else in the world has changed. No, just this one thing, this one new person, these two new people have now seen you naked and they've now touched you in fun places.
One or two or a couple of dozen new people have seen you naked.
Yeah. So I think it helps not to be a stranger to what's going to be happening. Like, genuinely, I feel that everyone should masturbate before they have sex for the first time. If you're not cool with masturbation, if you're not cool with sex, then that's absolutely fine. But I feel that the first time someone touches you that intimately, it should maybe be yourself.
Like, I don't want to be the one to quote RuPaul, but if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to let someone else love you?
I feel like some of the awkwardness of having sex for the first time is like not knowing what the other person is going to want and what they're going to like. So you're hesitant on both parts, and it helps to have confidence. It helps to know to be able to say, I like this, I like that, please don't put it in my asshole.
You can touch my thigh if you like to.
I am already.
I noticed. She's a filthy thigh toucher.
That is true and accurate.
I have personal beef with the phrase virginity loss. The first time you have sex, the first time you make love, whatever you want to call it, the idea that you lose something is kind of terrible to me.
You've gained something, like you've gained experience, you've gained an emotional connection with this other person, other people.
Couple of dozen other people. The idea that purity or worthiness is tied up with whether or not a person, let's be honest, usually a woman, has had sex is tying an awful lot of someone's value to whether or not they are sullied and therefore saleable. It's objectifying, and I feel like it's rooted in the idea of women as property that passes down from their father to their husband. Your value is not tied to whether a small piece of flesh is intact or not. Ever.
So I think when it comes to like having sex for the first time with a person or a new person, unlike the films, it is good to discuss it. It's kind of nice sometimes. While like spontaneity is really fun if you're happy with that, I like for the first times, and it can be good to have a plan. And it can be good to make sure that you're in like a place that you're comfortable and safe in, that you've got supplies to hand, like lube and condoms,
Yes.
or dental dams.
Yes, or gloves.
Yeah, so there's lots of options, and it means that you can prep in time. If you think you're going to be having sex for the first time with like a bunch of strangers, then it's also nice to have a vague plan that might happen, so you can remember to bring condoms or dental dams in your bag.
Yes, barrier protection. Barrier protection is really important when you're having sex with someone you're not fluid bonded with. Also, if you know you're going to be having unsafe sex, get on PrEP. You can go to the doctor, you can say, I'm going to be having unsafe sex, I don't want to get HIV, and then they can put you on something called pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is medication that will prevent you from contracting HIV from unsafe sex.
So we mentioned a lot about like the first time you're having sex with a new partner or new partners, and when we say that, it doesn't just mean like for the first time ever. It means that when you have sex with a new partner, like after all your other partners or after your one partner, whatever, it can still be scary, it can still be intimidating.
It feels like with the base system, first base, second base, and so on, it can be depicted that once you've done something with someone, you're going to skip straight to that point or past that point with the next person. And that's not the case. It doesn't have to be the case. Just because you might have had oral sex with one partner, when you have a new partner, you can get like tummy fizz and pants tingling just from kissing and like over the clothes touching, and you might not be comfortable going past that point. And that's fine. You don't have to go right to like the most advanced level where you left off. It's not a video game where you have save points at the start of each level. Like, do what you're comfortable with. Start fresh with each partner if you want. Or have sex once and go straight to fisting with your next partner. Do what you like.
I'm just imagining like a person that's, you know, just one time accidentally they did this really, really advanced like yoga maneuver with like three people and a jester, and now they can only do that
like a tantric scorpion thing, and then
they're like,
they're like, I want to have vanilla sex in the missionary position with the lights
again.
off, and I can't do it. I just want to have awkward sex where we don't talk to each other or look at each other or have any feelings or cuddle afterwards.
So I genuinely view like sex without talking as like the kinkiest thing ever.
Really?
Because it's so alien to the way I have sex
weird,
that like it seems like a bizarre like BDSM punishment.
I hate when you're watching a film and it has a young woman in it and she has sex for the first time with a young man, and then he fucks off and abandons her. And the young woman phrases the fact that she had sex with this young man and that it was her first time. She phrases it as, I gave him everything. No. Honey, no, you didn't. You didn't give him everything. You just had a sexual experience with him. He didn't take something from you by having sex with you and then leaving. He's an asshole for having sex with you and then leaving without talking to you about it. But he didn't steal from you. You didn't give him everything. You still have worth as a human being. You are not like an empty, broken, dirty shell just because you had sex with this skinny white guy.
I hate in films where they have sex and then there's no cleanup involved. They just like, the covers are there, they just fall asleep and it's all beautiful and angelic and her makeup's perfect and his makeup's perfect.
If their makeup is perfect after sex, maybe they didn't have good enough sex.
And like, no one's trying to tie off a condom that's like wet with vagina juice. It's not going, oh god, I have so much sweat under my boobs right now. This is
She's
disgusting.
not like getting out of bed to go pee after sex so she won't get a UTI.
Pee after sex.
Pee after sex. Please God, pee after sex. It bugs me in films when people start having sex and they don't talk about it at all. Consent is really important, and it doesn't kill the mood just to be like, hey, I really like it when you touch me like that. Do you want to have sex? Or like, I want to make love with you, or whatever.
So, to go back to their question, for what counts as losing your virginity, I think it depends on you. Most people will have their own idea for them of when they've had like enough sexual experience for them to be comfortable saying that, like, they've had sex.
I have come across people who have said a lesbian who never has sex with someone with a penis is still a virgin, and I think that's total nonsense. If you feel like you're a virgin, you're a virgin. And if you feel like you're not a virgin, you're not a virgin. And if it doesn't matter to you, then congratulations, it doesn't matter to you.
When someone brings up something that they'd want to try, like, Google that stuff first and find out what it is, how to do it safely, how to do it to have, like, the most fun possible.
Do you know whose videos I really like for that? Lindsey Dyer. Do you know Lindsey Dyer?
No.
Sexplanations. We'll put a link down in the description, but she has the best, really informative videos.
And for, like, 99% of the people that are asking, it has absolutely no impact on their lives, so just fucking tell them anything.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, just use that as an excuse to screw with people.
Or you can just say, I'm not comfortable talking about that. That's none of your business. I don't see how that's relevant.
That's also a valid and very adult choice. I just like telling people that, sure, like, I've had a bedpost inside me. What do you count as losing your virginity? So, thank you very much for watching. If you do have questions, you can email us at lesbianswers@gmail.com. You can tweet us at lesbianswers. And we're also on YouTube and Instagram at Lesbianswers. Feel free to message us there or use the hashtag Lesbianswers.
And remember to have a fabulous week, make good choices, and we'll see you next week.
Bye!
Bye! I have tonsillitis. And now I'm here spreading it to you.
That's fine.
Because I love you and I want to share all my things with you.
That is disgusting and adorable.
It's me. I'm disgusting and adorable. Lily.